I'm thinking, well, maybe one game and we go home Saturday. But McCamey brought their bats out for that first game, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And, it's always easy to think like that. And a lot of, we as coaches, we always coach to not think that way. But I noticed the crowd changed a little bit that second game, and people were expecting maybe we could come out and take it in 2 games. But they sure did. They came back and give them a lot of credit. They showed mental toughness and wouldn't give up at all.
Yeah, the losing game 2, 12-6, but bouncing back in a big way to take game 3, the deciding game 8-4. You've got to be tickled with the way that Adrian Barrera, who by the way got both wins in that series, the complete game in that late game Saturday.
I was real pleased with the way Adrian pitched, and something I was thinking about today. He had quite a series. The first game he came up to the plate and struggled, and he had 3 strikeouts. And then the next day, he got hit 3 times and got on base.
Yeah.
And through all that, he still managed to win both games.
Well, he sure did. In relief on that first game Friday, shut down McCamey. Then good performance in the late game yesterday. And, of course, his older brother, John the Jr., had 7 hits in that series. One of the hitting stars for you guys over the weekend.
He sure is. I was looking at his playoff stats, and he's hitting 667, and he's had 7 stolen bases. And you can't beat that.
Seven stolen bases in 4 games. And I'll tell you, another hitting star I thought over the weekend that really did a good job for you, doing some clutch hitting, was Jeffrey Terrell, your third baseman, came through.
I love Jeffrey to death. People probably don't know, but about the 4th game of the season, he collided with our shortstop and broke his collarbone. And so we had to do without him for most of district. And he's come back and filled third base solid. And he just does a great job.
And defensively, you got some good play from your infield, as we talked about Terrell, but Austin Steele, Keegan Reynolds, Montanez turning a total of 3 double plays in the 3 games. Talk a little bit about your defense, Coach Davis.
Well, that's probably the area that we've improved the most all throughout the year, because starting from the very beginning, our bats were working pretty well, but our defense was pretty shaky at the start. We would average anywhere from 5 to 8 errors per game, and now we've cut that down to about 2. So, yeah, the defense is a big part of it.
Do you have a truck going by any chance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We are talking to you at the house, I do believe, are we not?
Yes, we are.
All right, well, you get by the McCamey series, and you're heading up northwest this weekend to start a best-of-3 game series with the Nazareth Swifts. What do we know about them, Coach Davis?
Well, I've been busy all day trying to dig up as much as I can about them, and everybody knows them from basketball because they've won the state championship, and they've got some great athletes. Best I can tell, they're going to match up just like we do. I think they're going to look like a clone of us, and they're going to have real athletic players and 3 or 4 good pitchers and good bats, and it should be a good series.
They needed 3 games as well, I believe, to beat Follett, did they not? Winning games 1 and 3 like the Pipers did?
They did the identical to what we did.
All right, well, tell us where those games and the times and everything will be for that series.
Okay, we're going to play the first one on Thursday night, and it's going to be in post at 7 o'clock. We chose to go with Thursday night because Nazareth's going to have graduation on Friday night. So we're going to skip Friday and then move to Saturday for games 2 and 3 if needed. And that's going to be in post also, starting at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Well, post is another place I don't guess I've ever called a baseball game from. Have you, Jeff Gregg?
I have not, no.
Have you ever been there, Coach Davis?
No, I haven't. We've played football and basketball there, and you know what a great gym they have.
Yes, sir.
I haven't been on their baseball field, but they assure us it's in great shape.
All right, well, with the series win, your Pipers are now 15-5, and of course, 3 of those losses came in District 2. Ira, who got beat by Miles, were you surprised by that any?
I sure was. We had, always kind of hoped that we could take it step by step, but get back and have a chance to play against Ira again. But it looks like it would have to be Miles now.
Coach, let me ask you right quick. It appears that most of your playoff series are best of 3. I guess number 1, is that kind of what you prefer as opposed to a 1-game series? And then was post your first choice, or was that just pretty well compromised between both teams?
Well, about the series, it's just a lot of baseball people just have a feeling that you need to go ahead and have that series, and the best team usually comes out of that winning. You could, some fluke could happen in one game, and you never know. And with the pitching that we have, we didn't show it all this weekend, but I think a series is probably the best chance for us. And Post was as close as neutral as we could find. We had talked about Lubbock a little bit, but that's quite a bit closer to them than it is to us. So we're happy with Post.
Okay, and looking at this region here, of course, you at Nazareth, and the other teams are Miles. They took 2 of 3 from Ira, and Claude is the other team in the region. And, they lost game 1 of their series 15-3, but came back and won their final 2 over, I guess it was, who was it, Crosbyton that they beat?
Yes.
14-4 and 12-4. So it's like some really good baseball being played in Region 1 right here, Class A.
It sure is. I've always gone down and watched the state tournament, and I've seen Claude down there 2 or 3 times. And I don't know if Coach Simmons still coaches them or not, but they do a good job out in Claude. And through all the phone calls I'm making, I'm hearing a lot of real good things about how strong our region is.
We've seen Claude play a couple of times up in Lubbock. They played Rotan a few years ago, and I think they've been to the state tournament maybe 2 or 3 times through the 90s and here in the early 2000s.
I know they used to do it with some dominant pitching, and I'm not sure what they're going on right now, but if they're there, we'd sure like to play them.
All right, well, Coach, we have the series starting up Thursday night in Post, and I think that we're going to be there for that. You beat Knox City, of course, in the by-district game, 6-3. So we hope those Pipers keep it rolling, Coach.
Well, we have to have you guys with us. You're a good luck, I guess. So do what you can.
Well, we will be there. By the way, send stats when you get time this week, if you don't mind.
I will. I sure will.
Well, Coach Davis, I cannot thank you enough. I know the All-Sports Banquet is coming up tonight, and I'm sure a few of those baseball players are going to receive some awards, probably, don't you think?
That's correct. Problem being, since we're still playing, I don't get to announce my awards tonight, but I still get to recap the season and talk about what a good job they've done.
And, of course, that banquet, speaking of that, I believe it's 7 o'clock there at the high school cafeteria, correct?
Yes.
And for anybody that would like to go out, I guess they can get tickets at the door if they have not already, can't they?
Certainly.
All right, high school cafeteria. Well, Coach, again, congratulations on a great season. Anything else, Jeff?
Well, good luck, Coach, and I hope you get to watch this year's state tournament from the dugout in Austin.
I would love that. That's a dream. I'd love to do that.
All right, well, Coach Davis, as always, thank you very much for coming on with us, and we'll see you Thursday up at Post.
Okay, thank you.
Take care now. Coach Jerry Davis, the head coach of those Hamlin Piper baseball team, 15-5, and rolling through the playoffs here. And as we talked about, a pretty interesting Region 1 with Nazareth still alive. Of course, the team they're playing, Claude, and the other team down there is Miles. I'm looking here. You know who's still playing in Region 2, Jeff Gregg?
I don't know, Carl.
Those Windthorst Trojans.
Oh, yeah, they sure are.